Going on, everybody? This is your boy JC. Everyday thoughts. My with somebody special. The bad boy himself, Mr. Locario, and basically, title that we're going to talk about is how long should it take for a man to commit? And me personally, I feel that you should take no more than 2 years to know that this is your wife, this is your significant other, and whatnot. I don't think you should take more than two years to find your wife. Well,
Right.
what you got to say?
Right. Well, the thing is, I did a video a long time ago. I was talking about you should wait at least 5 years, and 5 to 10 years to marry a woman. And the reason why I was saying this is because as a man, you have to make sure that the woman that who's gonna be your wife is the right woman, and it's gonna take you a long time not only to see if she's the right woman, but also to see if she is contributing and benefiting you in your life and whatever you're trying to do. And so 2 years is, to me, is not enough time for you to really make that decision, because if you're supposed to be with this person for life, you know what I mean? Like, you want to make sure that this is the right type of person. And so 2 years really isn't that long of a time to even get to that point to even see if that's the real type of woman. You know what I'm saying? But why do you think that 2 years is cool? Like, what's your thoughts on that or something like that?
I mean, my thoughts is, as men, we're detail oriented, we're goal oriented, and we're really direct and decisive, and we go for what we want. I mean, it's funny how we go for our music careers, our basketball career, football career. We don't need to take time to figure out that's what our purpose, our passion in life. So you're telling me you're dating somebody for 2 years exclusively that you can't tell, like, damn, this is my wife. We want to keep talking about, oh, well, back in the day, when women was this, women was that. But you got to realize, like, a lot of the time, like, our grandfathers, they committed to their mother, to their wives at the age of 14. It wasn't all this equality, right, this or that. They made sure this is my wife. I have a vision, and I have goals and ambition. I have a direction. You waiting 5 to 10 years. I mean, you're slowing down the process of your vision that she's supposed to follow you. You're supposed to be leading her. Waiting 5 to 10 years, that's not. I don't think that's enough. I think that's too much of a time period to put a ring on her finger and make that lifetime commitment. You know.
Well, the thing is this: like, let's say if you're doing your own thing, as far as, like you saying, we'll go after our music careers, our basketball careers, whatever it is. That's just you doing something specifically for you. So you already know that you're committed to that. You know what I mean? So, but when you're interacting with a woman, right? You're constantly seeing if she is committed to you. You see what I'm saying? So you're seeing that if her how strong is her commitment level to you, and how how is she really basically following your direction and following your lead. Because the thing is, if we're supposed to be together forever, or we say forever as long as, like, we're alive, whatever, but if
Yeah.
we're supposed to be together for that long, then it shouldn't really matter if we're waiting 5 or 10 years. You see what I'm saying? So that's the thing. So the thing is, if you're really down, you're down. But what happens is that a lot of women, what they'll do is that they want to be married, not necessarily because they love the guy, whatever. Of course, some of them, they'll love the guy, whatever. But it's more so, it's an ego thing or a status thing to be able to say, I'm a wife. Because there are a lot of women who will marry men not because they love them, but because of what he can provide for them. You understand? So you have women out here who are not even interested in their men. They don't really like these guys, but because these guys may have money, because these guys have resources, they will just marry that guy. So this is why I say you have to take your time to make sure that this is the right woman. Is she marrying you for the right reasons? Is she actually, following your lead? Is she adding benefit to your life? And it takes a while to see that, because people can pretend for a while, but if you're really with her for a while and you see, okay, I'm noticing that she is following my lead. I'm noticing that she's actually doing things that a wife should do. I noticed that she's cooperating. And so you have to see that consistently over a period of time. So 2 years is too short of a time to do that. And this is why you have so much divorce going on, and the divorce rate is high, because everyone's just jumping into relationships. You know what I'm saying? Jumping into those long-term relationships. But, so.
Okay. But like, my thing is, if you're dating, you're courting somebody exclusively, and trust me, you're talking to her at least 2 times a day, or you're dating, but taking her out, and you guys have agreed to be exclusive, then, you should have a bond like now. I pick up this bond, especially she met your family, you met her family. Like, this should be like, wow, this is the type of person I want to add, I want to have on my team, And one thing I noticed what you said about you. I know you always talk about the game is about you, but when you're with somebody, it's about us, it's team us. It's not just about you, your needs, your want. It's about catering to that woman as well. And I feel like a lot of guys, they fail to realize that. And you talk about the divorce rate. Divorce rate is so high because you got to realize a lot of brothers, they get complacent and the communication it drops. Then when they first found her and they started dating her, they was headquartered, they were talking to her. Next thing you know, 3 months go around, 6 months go around. Once you really find out that true person, like, they start doing little things, And that's the one thing you have to continue to do for your lady. Make sure she feels special. Make sure she feels like she's number one. And that's the one thing a lot of guys that we're failing to realize as men to do, is to make her feel special and need and wanted, and not just as a sex doll. The sex is good, but you got to impact her emotional needs, physical and psychological needs as well. And that's one thing that we're failing to realize. We're not depositing enough love into her. All thing we as men want to do is just keep taking, and not trying to deposit into her. That's what you have. That's why a lot of women are initiating divorce, because the guy they stop being that guy, that dude in the beginning. So she complained like, damn, why you stop taking me out? Why you doing little things? And the guy's like, oh, I've been working. But it's like, she don't want to hear all that. She just want to make sure that you care for her like you did in the beginning, like you man your word, because she can't follow you. And then a lot of these brothers, they don't have core values. They don't have no principles. So it's like, how can you really expect a woman to follow your lead if you don't have no direction, you don't have no vision? Like, it should be like, you know what? All right, we got commitment, not the commitment. In marriage, it might take a minute, but if two people really want it to work out, it's going to work out. That's my thing too. You got to make sure that if you with that person, then, and she's for you, you're going to make sure that she's right. She's going to make sure you right. It's a partnership. Y'all do y'all teamwork,
Well, this is the thing, though, because, it's interesting that you're saying that, the guys stopped making us feel special. See, the reason why most of these relationships, these marriages don't go well or things don't go right is because that's what he was focusing on, was trying to make her feel special. The thing is this, it's like this. If you're, let's say, for example, if I'm a parent, right?
Yeah.
It's not my job to make my kids feel special. My job is to put food on the table. My job is to make sure they're going to school, doing their homework, doing what they need to do in order to get them to, the point needed to be. Same thing happens for marriage. As a man, he's supposed to lead, and it's not about making his woman feel special. It's about finding a woman who sees the value in that guy, to see the value in him, and understand that she should be supporting him, following his lead. You understand? Because her goal should be his goal. You understand? She should wake up every day and say, what can I do to, help this man that I'm with to succeed? You understand? So she's supporting him, and then in turn he supports her by protecting, providing, doing all these other things. So it's not necessarily just about making the girl feel special. It's about that man dealing with her and seeing and instilling certain principles and instilling certain things in the situation to create a situation to where him and her are moving forward. You understand? And so in order for that to happen, that's going to take time. You see what I'm saying? And so the thing is that a guy needs to be on top of his stuff, so that while he's interacting with the woman, he's taking time to instill in her what would make her a good wife to him. Because if she's a good wife to him, then he will be a good husband to her. You see what I'm saying? And so it's not just about him sitting there trying to make her feel special. It's about him doing the things he needs to do as a man to manage this relationship so that the marriage can actually go where it needs to go. And in order for that to happen, it's going to take a lot of time. And so, people start rushing because what happens is this. Usually the woman, she wants to get married. The guy, if he doesn't know what he's doing, what he'll do is, because he wants to make her feel quote unquote special, he'll just marry her. You understand? But the time really isn't right for that because he hasn't really vetted this woman to see if she would make a good wife. And then so what happens is because he wasn't doing what he was doing, she's not going to be doing what she needs to do as a woman and to follow him because he doesn't know where he's going. He's not really being a leader just by marrying her just because she wants it. You see what I'm saying? It's like this. The man is the one who proposes, right? So he's the one that says, hey, I'm saying to you, I want you to be my wife. This is the time I'm doing it. So a man shouldn't be proposing or being with a woman just because she wants it. You understand? He has to also want it. It's the same way, like, for example, if I meet a girl and I want to have sex with her, right? She's, if somebody said to her, hey, well, you should have sex with this guy just because he wants it. People would look at, you like you're crazy. Like, what are you talking about? You can't, so she would need to also want to have sex in order for that sex to happen, in order for it to work out. Same thing in marriage. A guy should not just be marrying a girl just because she wants it. You understand what I'm saying? Just because she wants to make it happen. No, he has to be ready also to want to make it happen. And when a guy is actually doing it in a way that's really smart, what he's doing is he's making sure that before he jumps into anything, this is that type of girl that should be the type of woman he's marrying, and that's going to take a lot more than 2 years in most cases. That's what I'm saying. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, you have to test each other, and you got to go through some stuff too. You got to be there for each other, especially y'all lose a loved one, and you just you have to be there and how she reacts today. And but I mean, you say it's all about the man, but like at the end of the day, it's about a woman. It's about a woman and it's about the man. It's about y'all coming together. It's not just about.
Yeah, and I agree. But what you have to understand is that in a relationship, right? A man, he leads. So therefore, what happens is that once a man finds a woman who understands that she should follow him, that's when things work out for both of them. You see what I'm saying? Unfortunately, what happens is we have a lot of guys who are following women because men are marrying women because the woman wants it, or society has told the guy, because he's not a guy who thinks for himself. Society has told him, hey, well, you were with this girl for, a year and a half or whatever, so you should marry her. And then he just does it. You know what I mean? Or, oh, well, you got her pregnant, so you got to marry her. So he just does it. But he doesn't really orchestrate the situation so that it's beneficial for both of them. So when I'm saying that, when I say the game is about the man or the game is about him, what I'm saying is that he has to understand his value and understand that he leads the situation. And so a woman who's intelligent, what she's going to do is she's going to say, oh, I found myself the best possible option to follow. You see what I'm saying? And then so once she does that, that benefits her immensely. You understand what I'm saying? And so that's where the actual good relationship happens. Because, for example, I'm married, and me and my wife were together 7 years before we got married. You know what I'm saying? And so within those 7 years, what I was doing was I was seeing, okay, what type of woman is this woman? Is she bringing something to the table? What are the pros and cons of the situation like? And she was actually, helping me on my purpose of what I'm trying to do. And in turn, because she did that, she reaped the benefits off of what I'm giving her right now as her husband. You see what I'm saying? And so all of that took time. But because I remember she wanted to, get married, I think maybe within like the 30th year. And I was like, no, it's not time yet. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like if we would have gotten married at that point, it probably wouldn't have been as strong as it is now, because I had to make sure that everything was right before we actually make that leap. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you, fam. I was just saying, 'cause you say, you got a wife, you got a girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just like, you're still going out there dating women. I'm saying,
Right.
that's a lot of energy you're putting into different women.
Right.
Why not just absorb all that energy? I mean, everybody has free will. Everybody do what they want. I'm just saying though,
Mm-hmm.
like, why not try to put all that energy towards one woman, loving on one woman, as opposed to just having your energy kind of scattered with different women
Mm-hmm.
and expecting them to reap the benefits. Because you say about guys to listen to videos on your YouTube videos, that's fine and cool. But if you get the bad boy membership, it's gonna really upgrade you. So, you're just getting, like you said, you're just getting the sandwich and bologna. And once you get the membership, you're getting the ham, the cheese, the lettuce, all that. So I'm doing that. I'm making that comparison to the woman. Like you're just giving her pieces of you. If you give one woman all of you, how much benefit favor can she bring back to you as a man?
Well, that's the thing. See, the thing is, people have different lifestyles. So my lifestyle entails me wanting, multiple women. Some guys may not want multiple women. Some guys may want one woman. So again, is the thing is with me, I'm able to actually give each woman that I'm with, you understand what I'm saying? The attention, the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding, all of that to each woman. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So because that's what I chose to do, and that's what I knew that I'm capable of doing it. Some guys, they don't want to do that, and that's fine, and that's their thing. I tell guys, figure out your own path, because the thing is, a guy could be with one woman and still not be giving that woman, the type of energy she needs as far as, him being her husband. You see what I'm saying? So it's all about how that particular guy actually, wants to do it and wants to make that happen. But the thing is again, this is an ego-based question, because what happens is that, because I get women all the time, they'll say, oh, how are you going to be in an open relationship? And that's not a real relationship. And, you're only supposed to be with one woman and all this other stuff. And the funny part is that monogamy is a fairly early, it's something that's been in existence, that hasn't been in existence that long, meaning that, open relationships basically have been around thousands and thousands of years before monogamy even existed. So every time when people say that, I'm like, well, monogamy is fairly new. You see what I mean? And so that whole thing with monogamy and marriage and all those other things were basically brought up for a lot of different reasons than why we even have it today. You see what I mean? So even when we talk about marriage, marriage back in the day wasn't necessarily about like a love thing. It was more about like, property, joining two houses together to keep money in the family and all this other stuff. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it was at that point, back in that day. And so the thing is that when we talk about marriage, people don't also want to talk about the business aspect of marriage. And this again is why I go back to saying wait 5 or 10 years, because if you make that bad business deal as a man, you could lose a lot of stuff. And especially if you're with a woman who isn't really helping you build or whatever, she's taking away a lot of things that you sort of built on your own as a man. You see what I'm saying? And so the thing is, if I'm just with you for 2 years, but all you've been doing is having sex with me and hanging out with me, but you didn't really do anything else besides that, and I'm supposed to marry you, and then if it doesn't work out, you get half my stuff, that's not fair. So this is what I'm saying. When a guy is dealing with a woman, wait a while, make sure she's putting something in, make sure she's actually doing other things, so that when you do get married, you're marrying the right chick. And if things happen where you do get divorced, at least if you have to give up half the stuff, it was half of what you both built. But it takes a while to build certain things, or it takes a while for things to get going. You see what I'm saying? For that to even be something, to have to split apart or whatever if it goes down that route. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just looking at all of that just on a practical level. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you, fam. Mm-hmm. And the one thing I do respect about you is that you tell women, look, I have a wife. You tell them that you're in a relationship so that they know what to expect. My issue is that a lot of guys lie and need to be lying, manipulative, or need to be deceitful, and that's the issue in trying to lead a woman on.
Right.
Like, oh, like I'm gonna try to marry you, or I'm just trying to sell this woman a dream. That's the thing I have no tolerance for, because
Oh yeah, I agree. I don't like that either. I agree.
Yeah, like I said, that's what I was just saying. I was like, I don't have no tolerance for people trying to lie and be deceitful. That's how I was saying. Like, for the 2 years it's come before, I'm like, I mean, especially you're like you know, as a man, you just want to sleep around, or you really looking for something monogamous or even an open relationship. I'm thinking everybody has choices, but don't sit there and ruin the woman for the next man. If you know you ain't gonna love her the right way, you're not gonna try to do her right. You know, I think if you just want sex, let her know. Don't sit there and tell her no dream. Oh, we gonna be together. You my love boo. That kind of stuff, like that pillow talk. Like I don't really describe to all that. And then men are getting upset that women are bitter, they're angry, they don't want to mess with other dudes because she be hurt, because some of the guys sitting there lied to her and stuff. And now dudes getting upset. They want to get in their feelings. Oh, she don't want to talk to me. Oh, she thinking that I'm like the next dude. And I made a post like that. Dude lying, say, oh, I'm just like I'm somebody else. I'm like, come on now. Like, you gotta realize that women, they hurt everything, and then you just have to be truthful, be honest with them yourself. Right. That's what a lot of guys fail to realize, Right. And then they want to wonder why the woman is so bitter and why she don't want to cooperate because she done lied to so long. And then the fact is, like, a guy like you telling her what is, no fantasy, no dream, like, look, this is what I'm about. And she's like, well, damn, I'm not used to that, because dudes, they lying. They're like, I'm so used to God lied to me. Like, they might actually have respect for that, because you're actually coming at them on real. And it's no smoke and mirrors,
Right. No, I agree with that. I don't condone guys lying and selling chicks dreams and acting like, stuff is what it isn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that also creates a situation where, it's harder for people to connect and to get things going as far as people, making things happen in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? But also too, I think because a lot of times what happens is that, I understand women, they want to get married, they want to get a husband, let's say that their biological clock is ticking, they want to get it going. What it is though, is that I think what could help a lot of women, is understanding what it means to a man to be his wife, or to be someone that is committed to him. And I think unfortunately what happened nowadays is that you have a lot of women who they want to be, or they expect to be, a wife just because. You understand? And so I think that's the part that kind of messes up the situation, because in each situation, each person, the man, he should be thinking to himself, right? What can I do in this situation to be the best man I can be? You understand? And when he says that, what he's also saying is that he's going to become the best man for a woman by him being the best man he can be. And a woman, she's like, how can I be the best woman I can be? Because at the same time, she's saying, how can I be the best woman I can be for a guy when it comes to that situation? You understand what I'm saying? And so, unfortunately, what happens is, and a lot of guys, there's certain guys that drop the ball in this too, but I'm talking specifically for women, because women are the ones who are saying, hey, I want to get married, I want this and I want that, because there's a lot of guys out there who's like, they could take or leave marriage. It's not really a big deal for them. You understand? There are certain guys who want marriage, but there's certain guys who don't really, they'll be fine. You understand? But a good majority of women are saying, I want to be married, I want to be a wife, I want to, make this happen. So I always say, what can you do as a woman to be that woman that a guy says, hey, I want to for this woman to be my wife. And so, like what you're saying, well, 2 years is a good enough time. And to your credit, a guy could actually meet a woman, and in 2 years he might say, yeah, I see that this woman could be a great wife. But that also depends on her, doing what she needs to do within those 2 years. You understand what I'm saying? And so if she finds a guy who understands the game and says, look, I need to make sure that the girl I'm with is cooperative. She's listening to me. She knows how to, listen to direction. She's bringing something to the table. And if she's doing all those things within 2 years, then maybe, yeah, there could be a chance where that guy might say, you know what? She's proven herself in 2 years that she could be my wife. But generally speaking, this is why I say 5 years is because unfortunately, nowadays, women aren't the same as how it was back in the day. You understand? Right now, we have a lot of women who's on the strong independent. I don't got to listen to no man. And like you said, the bitterness, all of these things makes it harder for a guy to, when he sometimes meets a woman, for her to sort of go in that direction, to submit, to be that type of woman who the guy sees as wifey material. You see what I'm saying? So
true. True. But my only issue is that we keep talking about the woman, but it's not too many men out here looking to be faithful husband, and just trying to be with one person. So like the woman I've encountered, the girl I'm with right now, but she just wants to be with one person, and I'm it for her. And I'm just saying, not a lot of guys just want to just be with one woman, and a lot of women, they're just looking just to be loyal with one man and stuff like that.
Right.
And it's like, and it's hard to do them to really to find that, because I've heard a lot of women say, well, I've done so much for this man, and I got this man kids, and it's like, you don't want to marry, or he's still saying he's not ready, and it's like, I'm doing everything possible. But it's like, the guy just not growing up, what's going on, so it's like, you still trying to, it's still on a man's plate to really decide what he really wants from this woman, and don't really lead her down the path where you got her pregnant, you got 3 kids by her, and you still not trying to honor her and commit to her.
Right, and I think this is the thing. It's and you're right. There are some guys who are just going to be like, like they're not trying to do any of that type of stuff. And I think this is what it is for both parties. We have to learn how to choose better and be better, so that because a woman, like for example, if a guy is, because I get this all the time where guys will get upset and complain and they say, oh, well, I was with this girl and she was acting real crazy and she got an attitude and this and this and that, and she's acting all this other stuff, and I'm like, well, you chose to first be with her and also stay with her. And then I say the same thing for women. Where is that, you have to, like, you're saying, well, this guy, she's with this guy, he doesn't want to, make anything happen, and now we have 3 kids and all this other stuff. It's like, okay, well, the unfortunate part is that you didn't really choose correctly from the beginning. And unfortunately, and the thing is that this comes from a lot of ignorance about understanding the dynamic between relationships and what's going to really benefit you in the long run. Because people they're making decisions emotionally. And this is why the whole thing where I talk about waiting 5 to 10 years, that's not an emotional decision. That's a practical decision. And unfortunately, most people, they get married because of an emotional decision they made. They get into these messed up relationships because of an emotional decision they make, men and women. You understand? And so for women and men, I say that you have to, even though you feel the feelings and the love and all this other stuff, you still need to step back and think about things in a practical manner in order for you to have the best situation for you, in order for you to have success. Because this is why most people are stuck in situations where they're like, oh, well, I've been with this person and, things aren't going the way it needs to go. And also the reason why it's not going that way is because the person is not really, expecting much from themselves, and also not really expecting much from the other person. Because if the thing is this, if a woman is beautiful, she's pleasant to be around, she brings a lot to the table. She, she cooks, she cleans, it's like she does all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
If she's with a man who is also, on point as much as she is, meaning he's doing his thing, he's, bringing stuff to the table, he has stuff going on, right? What happens is that type of guy is most likely going to wife that woman up. You feel what I'm saying? Because she's on that same level as him, he's on that same level as her. You see what I'm saying? Unfortunately, you may have women who are doing all these things, but they're fucking with, guys who's on some bullshit. And then vice versa. You have guys who's on point, but messing with women who's on some bullshit. You see what I'm saying? So it's like people have to, better themselves and then also choose better in their situations. You see what I mean?
Yeah, and one point you said, as far as a woman leaving, I mean, a lot of times, like I said, a lot over there, they'll voice concerns about that too, because they'll be like, well, you left the guy too soon. He wasn't out of potential, but it's like even when he's out of potential, they still getting blamed. So either it's like, damn if she do, damn if she don't. If she with a guy that want to get his stuff together, she's you're a gold digger. She get a dude that broke. Why she dealing with the Pookie Ray Ray and stuff? So either way, it's like she damn if she do, damn if she don't. Whoever she chooses, and she's going to get most of the blame. Like,
right?
Why you don't just choose better? I'm like,
but
so
also
telling her, and she. I'm off. I didn't cut you off.
Oh no, I was just gonna say with that because I see where you're going with that. What happens too is that you have a lot of women who what's what I'm looking for? They don't, because you're saying, well, if they get with the guy or try to get with the guy with all the money or whatever, she's a gold digger. If they get with the broke dude, or why you mess with the broke guy, the Pookie Ray Ray. The problem is most women don't want the guy in the middle. You understand? They don't want the guy, the regular guy, the guy who's just the 9-to-5 guy, the guy who's just the regular cool guy. You understand what I'm saying? So what happens is women end up dating the super attractive bad boy, maybe Pookie and Ray Ray thug because he's sexually attractive, but he knocks him up with a baby or something. Or, she's trying to get with the baller who's, the player with a whole bunch of girls or whatever. But the regular average Joe guy, she's like, yeah, he's nice, but she doesn't feel anything for him. But that would probably be the best situation for her to be in a marriage with. But she's been ignoring those guys. You see what I'm saying? So there's that aspect of the situation. So yes, there are the situations where she's dealing with the Pookie and Ray Ray guys or the player guys and all that other stuff. But there's those middle guys who would love nothing but to have that woman as the wife. You see what I'm saying? Like a dude like you seem like a cool guy. You understand what I'm saying? But there's a lot of women who will probably overlook you for the other guys and then complain that they're still single. You see what I'm saying? I mean,
well, me personally, I don't have an issue. I have a girl.
Right.
We've been making moves, trying to talk about getting engagement. So me personally, I don't have an issue with that.
Right.
What you talking about the middle guy, the 9-to-5. My problem with what you just said is that those guys are very generic, want to go to work, come home. They don't have no kind of excitement, no kind of vision. So why would a woman try to follow that type? You just want to work, come home, play video games, get on Facebook, argue with women. I'm like, your value, your energy. It's like, why is she trying to be with that type of guy? You talking about the middle man?
That's the problem though. Because let's check it out like this. Let me put it to you like this.
Okay.
Let's put it to you. Let's make it even. Like, let's say if I'm talking about a man trying to have sex with a woman, right? Do you know, like most guys, right, want to have sex with the hottest girls, meaning like the Kim Kardashian looking girls, the Beyonce looking girls, right? But this is what men do. What men do is they say, well, we want sex. So even though I can't get the Kim Kardashians and the Beyoncés, I'll take the girl who I feel is a 6 because she's there. I want sex. She's good enough. You understand? So in order for that guy to get what he wants, he has to be practical about it because he's like, well, I'm probably not going to see a 10 every day. I'm not going to get 10s all the time. So the same thing has to apply for women because you're saying, well, why would the woman get with the guy that's just doing a 9-to-5? There's no excitement. There's no this and no that. Yeah, I agree. Women probably want a guy who's like the most sexually attractive, the guy who's super exciting, the guy who's that 10. Fine. But if she's being practical, if she actually wants to be married, then she needs to understand that, hey, that 9-to-5 regular dude might be your best option. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, how bad do you really want the marriage? Or how bad do you want to be a wife? Do you want to be a wife, or do you just want to be a wife to a specific type of high caliber guy? So you know what I'm saying? So it's like, which one do you want? You see what I mean? And so that's the thing.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I'm saying I was just like you had a post about Clark Kent and Superman. they're the same guy. I'm like,
Right.
the guys that are working 9 to 5s, they could be the Pookie Ray Ray, or they could be the,
Oh yeah,
like
you're right. They could. They could.
they all type of dudes though. The dudes that got money are just working very minimal, or just working average jobs, like working at Walmart or Target or Kroger's or Home Depot. They date all type of men, and they get burned by each type. And it's like, at the end of the day, she's the one that's going to get the finger pointing, like, oh, you should have chose better, When there's not that many, I don't feel like there's not that many quality candidates for her really to choose for, that's really approaching her to have the right mindset, that it's not about games, not what's a game, it's not about manipulation or being deceitful. I don't think there's that many men that actually go out there putting themselves out there to go out there and find a woman that have the good ethics, that trying to have the honest in themselves, to know that, look, if I just want to say, I'm gonna let her know that I want a relationship. That's what I want. I want something long term. That's what I want. But then themselves to go out there for her to choose from. That was my issue with what you were saying.
No, and the thing is, you're right. You're saying that, like, some of the guys who the 9 to 5 guys who seem like the average guys could be on the low, Pookie or Ray Ray type stuff. And then if they choose that guy and then stuff goes wrong, they'll be like, oh, you should have chose better. And the thing is this, it's true that they should have chose better at the end of the day, because you still, and this goes for guys too, you still have to be able to and again, this goes back to what I'm saying in the beginning. If you take your time, you see what I'm saying? You'll see who is and who isn't, who they say they are, you understand what I'm saying? Like, so so the same way where I'm saying that a guy needs to take time to see if this girl is the type of girl, a woman also needs to take time to see if the guy is the type of guy he says he is. You see what I'm saying? So nobody should be rushing into this stuff. You see what I mean? And so, and everyone should also be open to, like having an open mind to be able to interact with people to see, okay, is this person, a good person for me or not? But again, the thing is that since, people want to get married so quickly, or they want things to go down in that type of way, this is why things end up not working out, because that guy who is, that 9 to 5 regular average dude could turn out to be that, Pookie or Ray Ray, or that other, like, some crazy dude. And then the woman is like, damn, what happened? And then vice versa. The guy is like, oh, I found me the one, quote unquote. And then he realizes that after they get married, that she ain't the one. You feel me? So that's what I'm saying. Like, see, it's like this, they'll say, like, the truth always comes to light. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
The real is going to come to light. You just need to give it time. That's all I'm saying. You see what I mean?
True.
So that's all I'm really saying about it.